Welcome to Teachings from the Masters with Daryl Shaun Price.
Hi, welcome. So glad you're here. Let's talk about the magic of your emotions. Now, your emotions play a very big role for you being the master, the creator of all of reality. Your emotions are there to let you know if your current vibration is in alignment with what you're creating or out of alignment. And your emotions are a clue as to what vibration you're putting out into the world. And remember, as the master, you create what you are, not what you want. You can want a million different things, but it's the one that you decide to focus on and put energy into and become that you get to create. So, for example, let's say it's financial freedom. I want a big chunk of money so I never have to worry about bills. I don't have any obligations. I don't ever have to worry about money ever again. I want that financial freedom. Hey, you can set that intention. You can imagine it. You can get into the visualization of it. And then if in your regular life, you're full of all of the feeling of worry and doubt and fear and, well, what if it doesn't come? What if it doesn't come fast enough? I don't want to have to keep doing what I'm doing. What if I get stuck doing that? What if I can't pay this bill? Oh, if I go buy this thing, what if I can't afford this? Those emotions are telling you these are not matching this vibration. That's why it's worry and fear and doubt, and not peace. Peace is your clue. And this happens to a lot of people. Once you really start to understand that you are the master, you are the creator, you get to create any life you want. Lots of people get really attached to what they want to create as the source of their well-being, which is completely backwards. So you get really attached to the idea that I have to have this money and I have to have the financial freedom. And once I have that, then I'll be completely at peace and everything will be good. And that's backwards. Let me walk you through the steps. I'm going to walk you through the steps today as simply as possible, how you can create any reality you want. And let's get you into the mindset of becoming something so that it automatically gets created. So number one, there's a lot of your beliefs right now, no matter who you are, because we all have them. There's a lot of your beliefs right now that are attached to having to have a certain experience in order to feel good. First thing is to detach from those. The master does nothing, yet through the master, nothing is left undone. The master, you do nothing because you're already at peace. Because no matter what is happening outside of you, whether you have tons of money or no money, whether you're completely healthy or lying in bed in pain, you are at peace. And I know you're going to say, well, how can I be at peace if I have all these things happening? How can I be at peace if I'm struggling, if I'm not healthy, if I'm having fights with people, if I'm in a situation I don't like, if I'm in a place I don't like? How can I be at peace? Because you shift your attention from all of that to alignment. Your spirit, your heart, and your mind being in sync no matter what is happening. Yeah, it's all internal work. But when you shift your attention and your energy, which is your superpower, your awareness is your superpower. You switch it from what is or isn't working out here to who you are on the inside. Everything shifts. And really that is the step that if you did nothing else but that, everything in your life would work out. You would no longer struggle again. You would be listening to spirit. So this requires you to say, okay, I'm not even thinking about what's happening on the outside at all. What I'm doing is listening inside. If I have an emotion that doesn't feel good, I watch that emotion, not what's happening or causing it. Just watch the emotion, let it pass. If I have thoughts that are racing, okay, they can race. I acknowledge the thoughts, but I'm going to shift that attention back to how do I feel? Which automatically will shift it back to let's get in sync with spirit. When your spirit, heart, and mind are in alignment, which can happen in any situation, you will feel peace. And you can feel that no matter what's happening outside of you. I'll share an example in my life of how that works in just a little bit. But once you get to the point you are living in alignment, you are at peace no matter what is happening, then things get fun. Then it's time to start listening, because your spirit is always guiding you on the easiest path to creating your happiest life, which will include manifesting miracles that you cannot plan, because your mind can only plan within the current belief system that it's living in. And miracles happen outside of that belief system to get you to grow beyond it. So, to do that, you follow the peace. All you do is follow the peace. And I mean all you do. A thought comes up, feels like peace. Ooh, I'm going to explore that thought more. It feels like peace. Okay, it doesn't feel like peace anymore. We're done. Thought comes up, it doesn't feel like peace. Nope, no attention. It's done. Goodbye. I only follow the peace. What about if you're in a situation that doesn't feel peaceful? Okay, you may have to respond to situations in your external world, but you're only responding. What you're doing is taking your energy back immediately first. Before I do anything, I'm going to practice non-reaction. I'm going to say, wow, that whole situation caused me to feel despair, fear, doubt, whatever it is. Okay, let me watch that despair, that fear, that doubt, that emotion, unattached from the reasons outside it came up. Just watch it till it passes. Then ask myself, what feels like peace right now? And whatever comes up, I follow that. As you train yourself to follow the peace, you are training yourself to follow your intuition. And miracles start happening faster and faster and faster. Once you are living in alignment and you are following the peace, now you're ready to set an intention and create something you desire. And it can be anything you want. You have a million desires up there, and the desires are just breadcrumbs from spirit. The breadcrumbs from spirit meaning your spirit wants you to be in as much peace, as much alignment, and as much harmony with the energy of creation in all things as you will allow yourself to be. So within the current mindset you have and beliefs you have, it drops little breadcrumbs. Financial freedom. Oh, that would feel good. Ooh, super healthy. That would feel good. Ooh, happy relationships. That would feel good. The energy of creation that is your spirit doesn't care if you experience any of these things, but it's giving you breadcrumbs of where to pay attention so that you can create and grow even more as the master. So going back to financial freedom, the idea of being completely free and what that feels like is in alignment. Now, as soon as you start thinking of how to do that and think that, oh, maybe I have to do a ton more work, and maybe I've got to go get more side hustles, and I've got to do this, and I've got to fix that, and it doesn't feel like freedom, guess what? Feeling of peace is gone. So here's what happens. Let's say the desire is financial freedom. Don't go out there and hustle to make it happen. What you do is say, oh, that feels good. Let me pay attention to that one. I'm going to imagine it. What does that feel like? I've got this big chunk of money. Oh, here's some things I could do with it. That feels really good. That really feels in alignment. That feels like peace. The moment you start imagining details that don't feel like peace, it's time to stop. Say, whoa, those details don't matter. Let them go. Let me go back to the ones that feel like peace. And I'm going to stay in that imagination of that moment of having that financial freedom, of being the person who is financially free and has all the money they need until it really feels real. Then my only job is to follow the peace. Now, this is where a lot of people get tripped up. They start to get really, really attached to the thing that they're manifesting and say, oh, well, it feels real, so it's going to happen. So where's it going to happen? What do I got to do? Do I got to go buy a lottery ticket? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? What do I need to do to make it happen? Stop. You've already made it happen. But the moment you do that and start chasing it, you've now told your mind, okay, well, here's the new belief. We need that to happen or we can't be at peace. We need that to happen or we can't feel happy. And you just lost the alignment. You being who you want to be is about staying in alignment and following the peace. I've imagined it. I know it. It feels real. Awesome. I have complete faith. It's already done. And how it shows up in the reflection, I don't care. I don't know where it's going to come from. I don't know who's going to bring it to me. I don't know when it's going to get here. It doesn't matter though, because I felt it. It's done. All I have to do as the master is follow the peace. And the more I follow the peace and let go of everything else as an attachment, the faster it becomes the experience I get to have. And I know this sounds easier said than done, but it is really simple, guys. You do not have to see the thing you're trying to manifest to be able to feel like you're already there. So, for example, the whole financial freedom thing, I've got all the money I need. I never have to worry about money. And it could be some little thing that you're just feeling it. It feels real. You know it's done. No worry. I'm just at peace. And all of a sudden you get a thought of, oh, well, go buy a new shirt. And old you might say, well, I don't know. Can I afford to buy a new shirt? If I buy a new shirt, am I going to be able to do this? I've got all these other expenses coming up, blah, blah, blah. But new you'll say, yeah, I'm going to go buy a new shirt. That felt like peace. I'm doing it. That's it. Done. Guess what? That little piece helped you become more aligned and more into the vibration of the thing you are creating. Your spirit is guiding you on the easiest path to creating your happiest life. You've said, as the master, I want to create financial freedom. And yeah, nobody's going to say, oh, because you bought a shirt, you're now a bazillionaire. No. But following the inspired action by following the peace is the fastest way. So you took one step that shifted a vibration that helped you let go of some of the attachments that are the old beliefs. And there will be times that doubt and fear comes up and it's like, oh no, well, what if it doesn't happen? And what if this? And what if that? And what if I'm delusional? That's your mind, your conscious mind holding on to current beliefs. You cannot, I'm going to repeat this very, very, very important thought right here, guys. You cannot hold on to the old beliefs and become a new person. All beliefs are temporary. All beliefs are limiting. So you're being led, oh, just go buy a new shirt. Awesome. You go and do that and follow the peace. Oh, well, there's a little bit of a belief that dissolved that I have to really micromanage. And I only buy new shirts if I absolutely need one, because what if I don't have enough for bills? Oh, that little belief dissolved. So the more you follow the peace, and that's all you do, the faster that reality starts to show up. So let me give you an example from my life. So a lot of you know this story, but I'm going to use it to frame what we've been talking about. So years ago, I was in the hospital. I went to the hospital after having months of excruciating pain. My body was falling apart. I was in a wheelchair and couldn't even move the wheelchair myself. I had people moving me around. I was in so much pain, could not get out of bed most days. Had a very embarrassing experience where I was stuck in a bathtub and could not get myself out and had to yell for a roommate to come help me get out of a bathtub. So ended up in the hospital. All things were going wrong. Like every system in my body was failing. Every day doctors would come in and say, now this is wrong. Now this is wrong. Now this is wrong. One day, doctor comes in and says, now you're in total kidney failure. And I had a grandpa who died when he was on dialysis. And I started to have like these horrible, horrible fears of I'm going to end up on dialysis. I'm going to end up dead soon. Like, that's it. We're done. And in fact, there was a lot of debate whether I'd even get out of the hospital room. So, and I remember asking him, well, why are my kidneys failing? He's like, oh, it's probably because we gave you too much naproxen, which is a painkiller because I was in so much pain. And then it clicked. All we're doing is running around and putting out all these physical fires and responding to external for my physical health. And I have taken my ability to be healthy and given it to everyone else outside of me and decided I can't be healthy. And I said, wait, I don't want to be that person. I can be healthy if I want. I set an intention to be healthy. Now, I didn't go out there and like, okay, what do I got to do? What pills do I got to take? What I got to go make it happen? How come I'm not healthy yet? I believe I can be healthy. Where's my healthy? What I did was like, okay, no, I want to be healthy. I want to not have to have anybody else fix my health for me. I want my body to be strong on its own. Set the intention. And then what I did was that step one we were talking about. I didn't run out there and look, and I didn't respond to, well, only once I'm healthy I can be happy. I said, no, I'm going to feel at peace. Shifting all of my attention from the outside circumstances to inside. Okay, here's the things I'm feeling. I'm going to watch them. Once those feelings are gone, I'm just going to let them go. I'm at peace. Maybe I leave the hospital room, maybe I don't. Maybe I walk again, maybe I don't. Doesn't matter. I'm choosing to feel at peace. I'm choosing to listen. Let my spirit, my mind, and my heart be in alignment. Which means I focused my mind on the connection between my heart, spirit, and mind, and that only until I felt at peace. Once I felt at peace, I just laid there and enjoyed feeling at peace. That's it. And then something happened. I got an inspired action. Remember, that was step 2. Learning to listen to those inspired actions and follow the peace. And I felt like I'm going to leave the hospital. I'm done. Whatever happens, happens. I'm done being in the hospital, and I'm done chasing the next thing that's failing. I called my roommates, said, will you please come pick me up? Signed the paper that said against medical advice, and left. Now, of course, the doctors are freaking out and saying, well, but your kidneys and what's going to happen, and you might need dialysis, and we need to treat it right away. And if you leave, you could have horrible things happen. And I said, I don't care. I feel at peace. I'm leaving. And I did. And I laid in bed at home for a couple days, just being at peace. I wasn't trying to change my outside world. I wasn't trying to fix anything. Just being at peace and following inspired action when it came up. And sometimes the inspired action was, oh, remember all those wonderful times you had. Oh, remember your kids. Oh, remember these things that happened. It was just thinking about things that felt good. Sometimes the inspired action was do nothing. Just lay there and be at peace and just feel the peace. But here's what was happening. I was the master. I was the creator. I'd set an intention that I want my body to be healthy on its own, not have to need all this outside help. But I then didn't go chasing that and saying, where is it? 3 days, I laid in bed. And then on the 3rd day, got an inspired action. The moment I woke up that 3rd day and said, get up, you're fine. Now there's a piece of my brain that said, there's no way you're fine. Are you kidding? You haven't been able to get yourself out of bed without excruciating pain for months now. I got up, I walked, I went downstairs, I made myself breakfast, and I was fine. And up to this point, I've never had those issues again. I'm not in the exact perfect health I want to be in, but my body's getting stronger and healthier every day. I am in the best health I've ever been in. And none of it was because of what I did. None of it was because I was so attached to how this has to happen and when it's going to happen and if this happens or not. I was at peace. And that's what it means. That's what all of the great masters mean when they say, you manifest by what you become, not by what you want. You manifest what you are, not what you want. You are the master. So, are you ready to have the faith to choose to feel at peace no matter what's happening outside of you? And if nothing changes, still choose to be at peace. Because once you master that level of alignment, you then get to start listening to those omens, those little inspired actions, and following the peace and seeing what miracles happen. And then once you are really master of listening to the omens and following the peace, then you get to choose to create anything you want. And then you get to imagine it till it feels real, and go right back to just being the master who does nothing. I am at peace, and I follow the peace. I choose what to create. I create it 100% internally. I feel that it is real. I stay in that feeling, and I am at peace, and I follow the peace. And this is just one of many stories. I can tell you miracle after miracle that has happened to me when I followed this. When I follow the peace and stay at peace no matter what. And I promise you, if you do the same, your life will change and it will be miraculous. You will see that everything you've ever desired comes into being easily. And not because you need it to, not because you're out there chasing it, but because you are at peace and you are following the peace. You've imagined it, if you felt it, you know it's real, you know so much that it's real. But you can stay in that feeling no matter what happens outside of you. And then follow the peace. So just like we were saying with the financial freedom example. Oh, well, feels like peace to go buy a new shirt. I'm going to go buy a new shirt. That's it. Done. Doesn't have to mean anything except I'm following the peace, which is naturally getting me into alignment with the thing I've already created so that it will show up in my actual experiences. I would love to hear more about what you're experiencing and where you're finding any bumps in the road so I can help you be the master of your creation. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and go share this with somebody so you can help them create their happiest life as well. See you next time.